Preston, contesting election results, that's nothing new. What's different here is that challenges are piling up long before all the ballots have even been counted. Vote count anxiety is taking hold across the country.
And I've been checking, every 5 to 10 minutes to see what's going on.
I go back and forth between both CNN and Fox News, their apps. Just constantly refreshing them.
Complicating the search for answers is a lot of misinformation. Election law expert Professor Lisa Mannheim says President Donald Trump isn't helping matters.
But it makes sense to me that people are confused based on what the president is saying.
If fraud is occurring, Mannheim says the president needs to show evidence for any legal claim to succeed. But this drawn-out count is a normal process, given the number of mail-in ballots in battleground states.
There's really nothing that is unusual happening at this point from a legal perspective, nor is anything happening in terms of the vote counts coming in that was unexpected.
Such reassurances don't offer much relief when the integrity of the election process is challenged, and voters are left wondering if there's any proof.
But I would like to have an answer instead of formulating in my head like pathways to get to the result me and a lot of my friends want to see.
Well, I'm very eager to find out, there's been a lot of, anxiety going around.
High-tech speaker system is being used by officers to better communicate with protesters, but some critics say it can be used as a weapon.
Leave the area.
During Wednesday night's protest near Cal Anderson Park, our Cole Miller captured Seattle police officers saying this to neighbors dealing with all the noise.
We apologize for this disruption to the community.
They're using a new high-tech speaker system called the LRAD.
Damage on Broadway, where we were forced to make an arrest.
It stands for Long Range Acoustic Device. SPD says it was used for the first time on election night to better communicate with protesters. But the ACLU of Washington is already raising some concerns.
These devices and other acoustic weapons emit loud, painful, and potentially dangerous levels of noise.
And says it's closely monitoring how it's used.
There are plenty of reports that these weapons can cause permanent hearing loss.
There's a controversial feature allowing users to send out a high-pitched tone to scatter the crowd. And the LRAD's volume can be turned up to 149 decibels. That's about as loud as a jetliner during takeoff. However, SPD says the high-pitched tone feature on the LRAD will be disabled and the volume will not be cranked up to cause harm.
Let's look at it realistically. They're not at a concert every night of the week for 3 hours standing next to an amp.
Keep moving.
SPD says the LRAD was recently purchased as a non-lethal crowd control tool and recommended by the mayor's office after the city got a lot of feedback from protesters over the summer, saying dispersal orders were not clear or loud enough.
Puget Sound COVID cases are reaching new heights in the most populated counties, and for the second day in a row, Pierce County is reporting a huge number. KOMO's Keith Eldridge is live with the reasons why. Keith?
Yeah, not good news. The health leaders have been warning us this was bound to happen as people go back indoors, but now we're seeing new records in all these counties. We're talking about Pierce, King, Snohomish, and Thurston counties.
That makes me nervous. I'd be stupid not to be nervous, right?
Melissa Walsh-Schlegel doesn't like hearing that Pierce County's numbers are soaring. 187 cases just reported today. Yesterday, a new record, 214 COVID cases. It means she'll have to continue to stay isolated from family and friends and skip Thanksgiving gatherings.
I'm 67. I'm a two-time cancer survivor. I had a stem cell transplant in my early 40s. That makes me always immune compromised. So yeah. It's hard. It's hard for everybody. Sorry about that.
It's very concerning. We are seeing state and national numbers increase. We're not in this alone. It is concerning. There's not any one thing driving this other than really community transmission.
However, the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department says COVID cases are on the rise with those 20-year-old and younger and the 20 to 39-year-old age group.
So really focused messaging and work with those populations.
Pierce County is not alone. King County also. As you look at the first spike at the beginning and another one in July, now the cases are soaring to new heights. And the neighboring counties of Snohomish and Thurston, all now reaching new levels not seen before.
Should we be alarmed when we see that? Well, I mean, I think that we should all be alarmed anytime the cases are rising. It's another reminder for us to really do those things, those basic things that help to keep us safe, especially those who are at risk with chronic disease or other risk factors, including age.
Well, the Huskies were supposed to kick off their 7-game season Saturday night down in Berkeley against Cal. Jamie Lake has been preparing his team for a solid month, getting ready for this short, compact season. Lake and his Huskies were eager to see what they could do in a game together for the first time this Saturday night. We all wanted to see them, but a positive COVID test for a Cal player last night led to contact tracing for his whole position group. As a result, Cal has players in quarantine and won't have the numbers they need to play the Huskies. The game has been canceled, declared a no contest by the Pac-12. Such is a football season in the middle of a pandemic.
We can do everything perfectly here and stay in our bubble and wear our mask and you know, I drive from here back to my house and back here. I don't go out. I don't go to any restaurants, and our staff doesn't either, just to make sure we don't get infected. We can do everything perfect, but then all of a sudden, if our opponent has a slip up, then our game could be canceled and it won't be made up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.